Okay, this still works. So, I don't know what happened, but still don't know if we can have Kahoot, which is very concerning.
Kahoot?
I'm not sure if we can have it.
Internet.
Exactly.
I can't even use Safari. I mean, I can. Wait, I can use Kahoot.
Can.
I can. I just need game pin. Enter. No, I don't have this. I need a game pin.
Why is this not working? Okay, so I need to quickly go over some time signatures. So in
What did I do? What? Did it? What did I do?
okay, so with time signatures, you need to know in grade 3. 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 6, 8. Those were learned in grade 1 and grade 2. You also need to know 9, 8, 2, 2, 3, 2, and 4, 2. So, quick recap. So, the top number of a time signature tells you the number of beats. The bottom number tells you the type of beats that you're dealing with. So that means in 2, 4, it tells you that we have what the heck? It tells you that we have 2 crotchet beats.
Wait, I have internet on my watch.
What's it? In 3, 4, there are 3 crotchet beats, and they are grouped in crotchets. Why does my pen keep scrolling? In 4, 4, which we also call common time, there are 4 crotchet beats, and they are separated. We can also write it like this. God, what's my pen keep? Also write it like this. Common time. So when you group when you're doing your grouping in time signatures, what it means to have 2 crotchet beats, 3 crotchet beats, or 4 crotchet beats, it means that your quavers and semiquavers have to be grouped, have to be beamed in terms of crotchet beats. You have to beam them properly. You cannot have a beam that's crossing. And in 3, 4, for example, you have to keep them apart. That is the right way to do it. And if you had, for example, a crotchet rest here, if you had a crotchet rest in 3, 4 time, you would have to fill out the rest of the bar with crotchet rests. I mean, there are some instances where you use minimum rest, but it's not common and it's not recommended. Um, but I mean, a whole bar of rest is also a semi-brief rest, right? A semi-brief rest sits just below the fourth line. A minimum rest sits just above the third line. So that's a semi-brief rest, and that is a minimum rest. Easy way to remember that is there is no easy way to remember that. You have to memorize. Um, yeah, sorry to spoil that. There is no easy way to memorize semi-brief rest, minimum rest. There are like very illogical ways of memorizing it, which none of them I like. And for example, a very illogical way. A very illogical way is that the minimum rest looks like a top hat, and there is a person with two eyes under it, and therefore it is a two beats rest. And no, no, absolutely not. I hate that. I hate that memorization technique because it is very cringe and it absolutely does not work. It makes no sense. And there is no way you visualize a man with a top hat when trying to think about what rest you're trying to use. No, absolutely not. Just memorize it normally, please. And for just don't um no, don't think about a man in a top hat every time you're trying to think about your rest. It's not the right way to go. Um here we advocate for very logical ways of um memorizing music theory. Like Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Not a man in a top hat. Okay. There is so 2-2, 3-2, and 4-2 are actually quite similar to are actually quite similar to 2-4-3-4 and 4-4, but the two at the bottom means that you're dealing with minim beats instead of crotchet beats. That means to express a minim rest, you have to use this. You want two of them in a row, you have to use that. And also a semi-brief rest, man in top cap, man in a top hat, cough cough. It can also mean a full bar rest in any time signature. So for example, if I were to write a semi-brief rest there, it means a whole bar of rest in 4-2 time. Interestingly, what's happening here? No, okay. Interestingly, there is all of you play an orchestra, so you would have seen this to mean multiple bars of rest. That so for example, that sign there means 9 bars of rest. And there's some other equally weird signs. Probably like that's the most common. Um all of you play an orchestra, you would have seen that, right? Like 9, that means like 9 bars of rest. There's also some equally weird ones, like there's like some 2 lines on top with something written like that. That also means 3 bars of rest. Why does my pen keep malfunctioning? That also means 3 bars of rest. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I think that is definitely the most common. You have like something looking like a lane rope. um, yeah, that means like multiple bars of rest. Um, so if you have a semi-brief rest, if you have a semi-brief rest, like the thing hanging from the fourth line, it also means a full bar rest, no matter what time signature you're in. Um, have any of you seen this before?
Yes.
That's a triplet, and its duration is equal to 2 quavers or a crotchet. You can also have triplet other notes. Like, for example, a triplet of crotchets is written like this, with a 3 and like a line all over them. And a that means 2 crotchets or a minim. And very uncommonly, you see a minim triplet, which looks like the same as a crotchet triplet, except it's for minims. That's the same as 2 minims or a semibrief. And similarly, you can have triplet semiquavers like that, which is the same as 2 semiquavers or a quaver. The takeaway is that a triplet note means the same as 2 notes, 2 untriplet notes of the same value. So a triplet note, so a triplet note is a string of triplet notes. 3 triplet notes are the same as 2 of its respective duplet notes. But then the rules all change when you come across compound time. 6/8 and 9/8. 6/8 has 6 quavers, but they're not grouped in 3. No, they're not grouped in 2, they're grouped in 3. That means they are beamed like this. And that means that essentially 3 quavers to a group, which means that in 6/8 you cannot use 3 crotchet rests. You cannot use 3 crotchet rests in 6/8 time. You have to either do this, or quite specially, you can do this. Dotted crotchet rest. And yes, you can only use that in compound time. So 6/8 is grouped in 3 quavers. So that makes for some very nice rhythmic patterns like crotchet, quaver, crotchet, quaver. There is also what we call the duplet, which looks like this, and that is equal to a group of quavers in compound time. Basically the other way around of a triplet. And in 9/8 is similar to 6/8. You have 3 quavers. 3 quavers like that. And side note, you can use, even in compound time, you can use a semi-brief rest to indicate a full bar of rest. So, for example, in 9/8, that means a full bar of rest, no matter what time signature you're in, even in compound time. Okay, so in 6/8, why does my pen keep drawing random stuff? Okay, in 9/8, you can still use crotchet rests. You can use duplets. You can also do this. Wait a second. You can also do this. A dotted minim rest followed by a dotted crotchet. I mean that's just like a full bar of rest, so maybe it might be more accurate to say to do this. You can do a dotted minim rest. Yes, that is allowed, although not very common. Okay, so that means, how does it mean that we group our quavers or semi-quavers or whatever in compound time? In compound time, it means that you have, for semi-quavers, you have to do this for like that. And that makes for some very nice patterns. Like, for example, you can do this. That is allowed. You see, because that's crotchet, another crotchet, another crotchet, and it's grouped in 3. So that is allowed. You can do this. That is allowed. And finally, you can do this. There's a lot of possibilities here. Like that. So that's a semi-quaver. My pen's just acting up. If you want to go really nuts, you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is what happens when you're. This is what happens when Rachmaninoff is extremely drunk. That is theoretically allowed, but you wouldn't do that unless you were Liszt on steroids or Rachmaninoff really drunk. In case you're wondering, that is a string of 12 demi-semiquavers, and it honestly seems like something Rachmaninoff would do. All right. So that's it for compound time. What else do we need? If we go back to simple time for a minute, you are allowed to do this in simple time, obviously. So dotted crotchet followed by a quaver. There is a possibility for, yeah, and yes, it works the other way around. You can do this. That's allowed. And interestingly, you can do this. That's a semi-quaver, and that's a semi-quaver, and there's a quaver in between. You can do that. Okay, so here, you would expect 6, 8, and 9, 8 to be compound time. So you also need to know 3, 8. Do you think it's in compound time or it's actually in simple time? 3, 8 is simple time. It is actually just 3 quavers. So it's like 3, 4 and 3, 2, but it's shorter and it's in quavers. So you can't do stupid stuff. You can't do compound time stuff, which I like to think is stupid stuff because you can do all of this. But 3, 8 is in simple time, so you can't do all the compound time just doesn't work in 3, 8. And if you do it, you'll get penalized in the exam, and you don't want to do that. So that's in 3, 8. Um, can I do a Kahoot? Is the Kahoot working?
Well, your one, mine is.
Is your Kahoot working?
Yes, mine is working. Wait, I have network.
You have network? Okay. I have no idea.
Wait, I can use YouTube and which one's your settings? Wait a second. Cancel. No, just cancel work. Let's see what this is always. What's the password for the
I'm just wait a second. Just signing in.
Wait, how do you have one?
I'm using hotspot.
Settings. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, which Wi-Fi are you using?
I don't know. Wait, you do? I'm using yours. See, I'm using TP.
Yeah, you can try TP. I'm not sure if that will work.
Can I even use YouTube? Let's see. Please don't use suspicious again or soft or whatever you say. Does it work? TP link has no information. Let's see if mine don't work. No, it doesn't. Let's see if this works. No, it's the TP link one to see if it's 5G.
You can try the 5G one. I'm not sure if the 5G works.
It's just the passcode.
Oh, come.
Wait, what? Easy. No. Anyways. Can I use the game?
How do you have Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Max?
Wait,
You have what?
I
I'm going to try using TP-Link.
use this.
I'm going to try using TP-Link. I might log out of the Zoom. I might be kicked out of the Zoom for like bad Wi-Fi.
Why does Wi-Fi work?
I don't know.
How do you even? Wait, what?
Lol.
Please not break my pencil.
There's no. Okay, that's weird. I think dang it. Dang it. Okay. I think he might be.
No, I'm just wait.
Okay, never mind. I'm just going to do it normally. What's this?
Let me try this 5G one. I need plus.
Okay, no. It's not what I'm looking for.
What? Yeah, that's one from starting page. Let's try this. Let's crack through maths games this time.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get it again. No. I think I can already do it.
Okay, no, that's kind of boring. Um, 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 um. Time signature. Oh my God. A bit boring.
What 20 seconds?
That one's good.
Internet work this really dark. This probably doesn't work.
This is a bit abstract.
Who did the wait?
Who did the big?
What?
What? I don't understand what that is.
I can use nothing except
Rhythm.
wait.
No.
I can use calls.
So, do all of you do have Wi-Fi?
No. I this does this work? I have the hosting.
The Wi-Fi doesn't work. Okay.
What did?
It's not working then. Let's just do something. Let's just do something else.
Hosting.
For this, you need to.
Oh my god! I can't delete it. If I delete it, I cannot go into it.
Okay. Let me do this. So, I'm going to. Okay, it's not working. No one has Wi-Fi, so we're gonna do something else. Do you want to do like kind of like a quiz style format again? Did that pen not working? I might need to get a new pen. It's okay.
Pen not working.
So we are going to do a.
We're gonna do A. I'm done.
Let's try this. We're going to take. I'm gonna give you a. I'm gonna give you 6/8 time, and we want to make something from 6/8 time. We want to compose our own rhythm, right? But we're going to take it in. We're going to go around the table, and each of you add a note onto the rhythm. If it goes over, you gotta try again. Okay. I'm gonna start with a. So in 6/8 time, I'm gonna start with a dotted crotchet. I'm gonna go to you. I want you to add a note onto that. Try to make it diverse. So add a note value onto the end of what I'm getting. So for example, you can say, I want a duplet. And that works because we fill the bar in like that. Do you understand how this works now? Okay. Lee, do you want to start? Yeah, so for the next bar, start a rhythm. So a triple, we're in 6/8 time, so you can't have triplets. Triple quaver. I'll let it continue. A dotted minimum won't work there because we only have a. We need 3 more. You could use a dotted minimum in the next bar, like there. you would need something of a dotted crotchet's worth. So can I give you an answer? You can try something. You can try some of the crazy stuff that we did up here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Quaver, and then another quaver. Okay, we have a dotted minim here. Emily, you want to continue? You can try use some of the stuff that we did up here for compound time, like what I did to this.
I just do crochet.
Crochet, okay. And that means we can follow it up with 2 semiquavers. And then, Andrew, one more note to finish.
$1.
Okay, that's fine. Now, why does it? Okay, dotted crochet. So this rhythm is a bit complicated. So it's good what we've done here. It's kind of like it's a starter to what we're going to do next lesson is where we're composing our own rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the rhythm that we just did together. There again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the rhythm that we just did together in 6/8 time. We have used a good diverse range of notes to compose this rhythm. And next lesson I'll show you how 6/8 time is actually a really versatile time signature that you can do a lot with when you're composing a rhythm. But I think we're done for today. So, all right. We're going to do a lot more on time signatures later. Probably like the same, if not a little harder. I have some practice exam papers. I have a bunch of practice exam papers. Right, yeah, you can leave. I have a couple practice exam papers here. There's a practice paper there. Yes, I do have some practice exams for you to do. And we are going to do some of those practice exams once we've finished all the topics for grade 3. We're actually almost there. We just need to do some creative stuff, like composing a rhythm composing a rhythm, composing a melody, and then we're done. Okay. Okay. Good job. Bye.